I'm recording. Yes. Aloha. And welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from Hawaiian Paradise Park on the beautiful Big Island of Hawaii. Hooray! And this is my last Wisdom Dialogues for at least 3 weeks. So have fun with it. Ask all your questions now. Because I won't be back for like 3 weeks, sometime around the end of, well, I get back on the 23rd of September. And then the next Monday that comes up, I'll be doing Wisdom Dialogues after that. So yay. I'm so happy that we get to share this time together. Thank you so much. Yes. So you guys know why I didn't come last week for Wisdom Dialogues? Apparently we thought we had COVID or something. I mean, we seem to be getting the kinds of symptoms that people would expect. Basically what they told us to expect. And we always get what we expect. We always get what we expect. That's how it is. And it's like we don't know a lot of the times what we're expecting until we get it. Then I see. Oh, all right. I was expecting that. It's basically, sickness is kind of like punishment, right? So it's like we get on these thought patterns, and a lot of the times we don't notice. That's why being alert and being aware, it's like you're peeling this thing away, but you still have your bad habits. I mean, if you didn't have your bad habits, you would not be perceiving a body. Okay, you would not be perceiving it. You would have the body would just be doing whatever you even seem to want it to do. Like, it's totally remarkable that we would have a body or seem to have a body that would do something against our will. Like, it's sick. Isn't that wild? So yeah, it seemed like there were symptoms. At first it was so funny because you guys know I've been into block therapy. I talk about it like a mofo. So anyways, I had this wild rib release. It's called a rib release. It's where like the ribs separate from each other. They're connected by fascia, and the fascia gets glued and compressed, and they glue together. And then at some point, when you keep on laying on them and jacking that thing around, some point it just goes pop. So I got one of those, and it was really intense. It was like something like, oh my goodness, what did I just do to myself? Not that I can even do anything to myself, but it seems like something just major just happened. It starts burning and everything. And so then the next thing I know, I got like this nervous system thing going where my shoulders are up to my ears, and it's like, whoa, I just feel all this nervous system energy occurring. So, I'm relating it with the rib release. Really, it's not related to anything. It's just projected. But, it's like naturally we just start relating it with something. So I'm like relating it with the rib release. I'm like, oh, that's a really intense rib release, right? And then the next thing you know, like 5 days later, 5 days later, my husband, Tony, starts exhibiting some symptom. And I'm like, So then I start relating it like as a viral, then I start relating it as viral. But, the whole time I'm watching this, because it's not really related to anything. It's really projected. Okay. It's really just a projected thing. And the hook is to get you to believe in the relationship that's being made, and will you let those guys just guide them in here? Thank you. So, it's like, you just don't believe in the associations that are being made, because they're not even true. Okay, there's not true. It's not caused by anything. It's just we get what we expect. Okay. So, and watching what you get. Like for me, I'm just watching what I'm getting and I'm like, interesting. And then it'll show me, I mean, things will just come to light. Ways that I have been following certain trains of thought unconsciously. It's all in consciousness. So unconscious isn't really a way to say it, but it's 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 like it's like it's not fully revealed to us because we don't really want to see it, right? And the biggest thing that's hurtful, harmful to your mind is grievances. Okay. Any thought that seems like you've been slighted, someone didn't take care of you right, you weren't supported, you know, whatever makes you into a victim in any kind of way. Okay, whatever makes you out to be a victim in any kind of way, and those thoughts are intriguing. They're like temptation thoughts. They're intriguing because they help you hold up the world. They help you to prop it up. Okay, so you get a thought, oh, they should be treating me better or something like that. And it's intriguing. It's like, oh, I want, it's like the ego is like, I want this thought. I want to pursue this thought. Aloha, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming. It looks like we got part of Hawaiian Sanctuary here today. This is so fun. So yeah, you can kick back. You guys can hang around. You can walk around. You can be in the garden. There's a table over there. There's a couch right there. Yeah, it's a cute little spot.
Yeah.
Welcome.
It is.
Thank you for joining. Lovely to see you too. Yeah. So I was talking about grievances. Okay, that's where you hold anything against someone, like someone did something to me. Okay, or someone should have done things differently for me, right? Yeah, he's in here. We got everyone here. and it's because the reason these thoughts are interesting to you, the reason you would want to follow a thought that says I've been wronged in some way, is because that's how you prop up the world. And you believe that somehow following that thought can save you. Like somehow if you follow that around, it can save you. Otherwise, you wouldn't follow it. You wouldn't follow any thought unless you thought it was your salvation, right? So in watching how that hook, I mean, you guys, the whole way that we're propping up this world in our view is grievances. Someone didn't do something good enough for me, etc. We get to that a lot once we get past the surface layer when we're relating with people. Once you go a little bit deeper, now you're my friend. I've known you for a week and now you're my friend. So now you owe me this, and this because you're my friend. That's the way the ego works. Or now you're my boyfriend. Now you owe me at like a 1 week time, then you're supposed to be doing this, or you're supposed to be acting this way. Same thing with kids or parents or anything. We get into these roles of relating and we have these expectations on people, and it seems like if they would just be different, then we would be saved. If things would just be different, we would be saved. Do you see that? So that's what was coming up for me a lot when I was going through the COVID dance and different symptoms and stuff. One of them was some intense abdominal pain. Oh my goodness. It was like I was giving birth again. It was like that. Like I'd break a sweat. And the thing with anything like that, there's no pain that's real. So any pain that I'm perceiving is actually projected fear. So that's how I take it. I take it more energetic. So it does break a sweat. It seems to break a sweat. but it's not a problem for me because it's just a passing sensation. So it could be, and you know, the fear is you're not going to be able to handle the pain. The thing is, you can't get more than you can handle. You cannot. It's just the fear that makes the pain problematic in the first place. You know, all the pain, it's like, it's actually psychedelic if you'd go through it. You know, you wouldn't need shrooms or anything like that. You know, and there's always pain going on. So you can always access pain. There's not going to be any time when you would be at a loss where you can't access any pain. Okay. So, but we're always trying to avoid it. You know, that's how it is. It's like trying to avoid it by projecting. And so, you know, I've noticed my mind some projecting. I've seen it projecting like up until before it came up. I just don't even resist the projecting. I don't try to stop it because there's no way we can stop it. It's awareness. So awareness just takes you through all of your cycles and all of your experiences. So it's not like you did something wrong and therefore you made yourself sick. No, you were just never sick in the first place. You had a perception. Perceptions seem like they're really real. You had a perception that you were sick so that you can see through your conditioning. That's all. All the things that seem to occur are all for the same reason. And it's not like it's not like you're supposed to try to get out of those lessons. All the lessons that are coming, we need them. And none of them are even real. So it's not like you actually go through anything. Right? You're just going through in a trajectory of thought. All the things are passing. All the relationships, all the feelings, all the different foods, the different shapes of your body, whatever. It's just all passing. So we could just enjoy whatever it is, even if it seems to be some sickness. You know, it's like gratitude makes it so easeful. It's like, thank you. Thanks. You know. It's like, this is exactly what I need all the time. And all things are the same like that. You know, you can take it like, if you have a bad time, like say you're in a relationship and then you're breaking up and you're having a bad time. It's the same thing. It's just like getting sick. There's no relationships like that. There's only one of us. There's only one of us. So if we're not real comfortable with the way things are progressing, you can say the changeful reality constantly doing its chaotic dance, right? So if we're not real easeful with the progression, it's just because we are trying to find our salvation in something that's other than God's plan. It's like as if there's a better plan than God's plan for how you're going to be saved. It's really, it's really arrogant. It's really cute. That's why that's why I say, show me your cute, sad face. Because it's arrogance. It's making you sad, right? We know that it's arrogance. It's making you sad. It's not like you're really like sad. Like, hope, geez, where's your empathy? Don't you know that we're supposed to honor the sadness? And yeah, it's great. It's a feeling sensation though. It's something to learn through. You know, you get a sense of sadness. Really, it's a laughable thing. Okay. When I see it in myself, I'm always laughing at it. Right. And I don't feel like, oh gosh, this is bad. I'm being laughed at. It's more like, that's bullshit and I'm taking it seriously. That's what it needs. It needs to be met with laughter. Does that mean I always go up in people's face and they tell me they're sad? Or, ha ha ha, laugh at them like that? you know, the thing is, I don't know what to do. I'm a fucking idiot. I just go up and I just ask. You know, I'm just asking the Lord all the time. What would you have me say? Right? Because I don't know. I sense the energy. That's a sensed experience here. None of this stuff is true. None of the people that we perceive, there's not a sad person. That I'm projecting an image of a sad person so I can have a play with it. Okay? There's not even a sad person. It's a dream. All right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to be with anything. I have no idea. But I know what I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm not looking at. Let's say that. I know I'm not seeing anything that's true. And I know I can't possibly know what's in my best interest. Otherwise, I wouldn't be propping up a world. I wouldn't be propping up a separate world. This is like this is like a chaotic dream. It's not here. And, you know, it's our pretending, our commitment to pretending like it's here that makes it seem so real. And, you know, the majority of people don't want to know that. It's like, hey, you know, we're not really here, right? Like you're over there at the grocery store, you're checking out, right? I'm like so ridiculous at the grocery store. I don't know how to grocery. It is funny. There's a way you're supposed to grocery, I think. That's the impression that I get anyways. I know I'm making the whole thing up, but I go in there and it's like I have entered a zone. I get, for some reason, when I go in the grocery store, I get completely psychedelic all of a sudden. You know, it's like, it used to be that I'd go in the grocery store and as soon as I walk through that door, you know, every time you walk through a door, it's kind of like a portal. It's like a portal in your mind, right? There's no such thing as a place. Isn't that weird? The whole freaking scene changes as soon as you walk through that door. Just like, and I'm like, whoa. People are in mass. I'm just like, and people are like going around. They got their things that they're doing. And they're like, they think they know what they're gonna do. They're doing, and they think they know what they need and everything. And they're walking around like that. Meanwhile, I have no fucking idea. I'm just like checking things out. Do I like that? Does that sound good? Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm like freaking partying in there. It's really weird. And then I get up to the checkout stand, and oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. I got to get help from the woman who's checking me out. I got to get help from the woman. And, you know, my impression was they thought I was really cute. That was my impression. they thought maybe I was from another country. I maybe don't shop that much. But then it's like, it's a trip. Then I walk out of there, and then the next portal is outside, like outside of the store. And then all of a sudden it's like I'm discombobulated again. I don't know where my car is or anything. And I'm just like in an energetic experience, and I don't mind. It's okay. I don't have to have it together. I'm just in an energetic experience. It's very dreamlike. I don't have to and I can't at this point. I can't turn that on where I'm all of a sudden all businesslike and pretending with everyone, because I'm just seeing it. It's like you get into a almost like a pretending mode. You go click into pretending mode, and everyone's pretending, right? And then in pretending mode, it's like you just automatically do the things that are expected of you. Like when you're going through checkout, you know how it's so automatic, like everyone's just like that. For me, it's not like that. It's like, okay, what's next? Like that. Okay, what's the next step? And then I even asked the cashier, I'm like, am I done? Yes, dear, you're done. Woo! But you know, people might go, oh, that seems hard, because how are you going to get anything done? Like everything you do takes a shit long time. Yeah, because I don't give a shit. Because there isn't any place I need to be. Right? There's nothing that's not like that. It's just, it's an energetic thing. And I'm only there for one reason. That's awakening the mind. It's not to buy my groceries. It's just like, that's just an excuse for, okay, it's time to have this kind of experience for awakening your mind. And, you know, it's one mind. So it's like everything that I get a perception of, that's a teaching for me, right? That's a teaching for me. I'm not there to try to like get those people over there to wake up or something. It's not like that. I'm like, hey, you guys are fucking asleep. Wake up. I don't know. I might find myself doing that. I have no idea. Because, you know, if that's what's called, I don't have any objections. If that's what's called of me, hey, you wake up, you fuckers. But you know what? The thing is, people just think you're crazy when you do that. It doesn't really help anything. I've seen it on TV before. This guy, he looked so enlightened to me. He just looked so enlightened. And he was just like saying, love now. Just love now. And I was like, oh my God, thank God for that guy. Oh, what a blessing. And then I read the comments. Everyone thinks he's fucking crazy. I'm like, oh, awesome. Well, that's how they are with me too. You know, once they get a load of what I'm saying, you know, that's just how it is. The ego is prevalent in the separate world that we're projecting. The ego is prevalent. There's not really any people out there, but the ego is prevalent, and is deathly afraid of being found out like this. Because how will the world as we know it will not be working well for the ego? And will you put this fucking dog over there in the house? There's a dog licking or biting or snorting.
I'm like, did he fall asleep? I guess he's breathing heavily.
No, he's so funny. You know, he just got washed the other day, and the dog washer said he's got no fleas, 0 fleas, but he acts like he's got fleas. He's biting the shit out of himself right now. All that snoring, it's his nose up in the fur, like that. My husband's like, he's got no fleas. And I'm like, he acts like he's got fleas though. He sits there and itches himself a bunch of times, bites himself. Fun. We always get what we expect.
No different than all the other humans. He thinks he has fleas.
Yeah, right. We can see no fleas, but yet, yeah, it's a dance. He's got to still do it. Dog has allergies. Good one, Amy. What about live at the trading place and the trading post? Yes, I would be willing to go live at the trading post. Missing the Friday lives. That bush behind you. I'm reading the comments now. There's lots of bushes behind me, I think. Yeah, we have an amazing yard. My husband's an amazing gardener. Live at the trading post. Yes, I will try live at the trading post. I will try that out end of September. Okay. We'll plan on what day you guys want. We'll talk about that. We'll get lives going again. I got a live to share with you guys too. I didn't post the last one yet. I've been slacking hard apparently. I'll get that one posted. I also have a YouTube one to post. So those of you who like Hope Johnson's Wisdom Dialogue, you guys are going to be stoked. All right. Question. I want to get better at my reactive way to conflict. Last week, I parked close to a motorcycle. I waited outside my car to pick up my food order, and the biker said, "Who is the asshole that parked here?" That's perfect for you. I love that. I replied, "I am. What the fuck are you gonna do about it?" You would. That's fucking awesome. He stayed quiet. I said, "That's what I thought." His girlfriend said, "You see, that's why the world is messed up. What you did is wrong." I replied, "I don't give a fuck." I got my weapon, put it on my back just in case things got out of hand. What the hell? The whole time I was completely calm. You got your weapon and you were calm. That's awesome. And ready to hurt them if needed. Both of them. I'm so glad he stayed quiet and left. Now, I don't want to be that way, although it was completely out of my control. I meditate daily. I live a peaceful life. You do not live a peaceful life. You're full of shit. You're not living a peaceful life if you're telling someone that shit. You know, that is the fucking playing in your mind all day long. That kind of shit. That's why it manifests. So good. It's okay if it's okay if you don't live a peaceful life. Say that right now. It's okay if I don't live a peaceful life. You are not living a peaceful life, okay? You're living a chaotic life because you actually look at things as if they're a threat. If you didn't look at things as if they were a threat, you wouldn't be reacting like that. You wouldn't be getting your weapon. That's for fucking sure. That has nothing to do with turning the other cheek. That's like the opposite of that. And you can't help it. Like you say, you cannot help it. It's out of your control, and it's manifesting off of the idea that you can be threatened. That's all. There's nothing peaceful about that. And that's why I tell people, look, it doesn't fucking matter if you meditate or not. It doesn't matter. That's not where it is. If you like it, great. If you're doing it because you think it's your salvation, you're fucking wrong. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. You're going to tell yourself you're living a peaceful life because you meditate every day. Good job. And then you grab your weapon when someone says something to you. That is the best. I love you, Niall. You come up with some good shit. So your question though. I know. Your question though. Your question was, you want to get better at your reactive way with a conflict. Okay, cool. Get ready to laugh about it. Just get ready to laugh at yourself, like right in front of those people. Look at me. I think you're a threat. Yeah. I think you're a threat right now. Look at me. It's like you demonstrate to your own mind that being peaceful is actually your salvation and not the opposite of that. See, you keep on demonstrating to your mind that your salvation is this ability to protect yourself. It's like, good thing I know I can kick both of their asses. Otherwise, I'd be in deep shit. What about me? Right? What about a broad like me? I don't have much fighting experience. I mean, I did a little kickboxing, but I never got in the ring, Well, I did, but not where I could get punched. Right? I was like, I would do that if I could do all the punching and not get punched. I mean, maybe if I'm doing all the punching, I won't get hurt. Maybe. Like, what if I go out and someone's like, hey, what the fuck? I can't go, me, you fucker. I guess I could see what happens. Like, what are you going to do about it? Right? It is like, see just for fun, if, you can notice that that's not your salvation. Like there's your might, your ability to fight, That's not where it's at. Now, I could tell you a good Tony story because, you know, my man, Tony, he used to be a kickboxer. That's how I, you know, started practicing a little bit because he was like into it. He did go in the ring and he did get in some gnarly fights. And he was like a street fighter dude, you know, like sometimes we'd be out on a date or something. Then the next thing you know, some dude is all beat up, right? Like, and then I'm crying and stuff, right? So, you know, he had always been a guy who would attract that kind of circumstance. To attract, really, that's not really the word. It's more like we project everything. So we're dreaming it up for the play. So he was here in Hawaii and it was the same kind of situation. It was in the parking lot and the dude didn't like the way my man drove or parked or something. And, you know, and Tony's the trained fighter like you are, Nael. So it's like, you know, if he needs to, it's there for him, you know, but it's not like something we ever actually need. So the guy was in his face calling him a fucking howlie and all this other stuff, you know, he's like a Hawaiian dude or whatever. And Tony was just like, you know, something like, you know what, bro, you're right. And the guy's just yelling in his face and yelling in his face, right? And this is a fighter. You're talking to a fighter. You're talking to a guy. You're yelling at a guy who probably, if he turned on his skill, you're on the ground really fast. But he's yelling right in his face. And he's just like, yeah, bro, I hear you. Yeah, I'm going to try to pay better attention, you know, just totally acting humble. And he was so glad about that. And I know, Nael, you can feel that you could feel the energy of that. And you could feel the ego going, fuck no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to humble myself like that in front of that guy. I'd rather lay him out. Right. Right. But you know, it has a lot of power when you're someone who's prone to fighting like that, right? That has a lot of power to demonstrate to your mind that you're perfectly safe and you are living a peaceful life. You know, if you want to be living a peaceful life, you got to demonstrate that to your mind. And like you said, you don't have a choice in it. So it's not a matter of trying to control it. After you've heard these words, when you're in a similar situation again, you're going to be looking at it differently. You're not going to be looking at it as if your ability to fight is something that's going to help you in the situation. Nothing, none of your skills, none of your talents, none of your stuff is ever helpful in any situation. Only God is helpful in a situation. None of your stuff is helpful.
That's true.
Yeah, what is it going to get you? Right? Either you beat someone's ass or you get your ass beat. What good is it? You know, one time Tony came home and he had a broken hand, right? And you know, the other guy didn't even hit him at all. Didn't even get a hit on him. Mm-hmm. But when Tony hit him, he broke his hand. Right? I don't know. That guy was probably pretty messed up because wherever his hand hit was probably like pretty bad. But he went for like weeks with a cast on his hand. And, you know, this is like when we were just first together. We've been together like 28 years or something. And so it's talking about like different people, right? Totally different people and all that time. So I'm going, don't you think maybe you shouldn't do that anymore if you're going to be breaking your hand? It's like, now you can't use your fucking hand for 2 months. It seems lame. Like, did that guy really need an ass beating that bad? Right? That's the way I would look at it. This is not practical. Like, I get that guy needed an ass beating, but like, why do you have to pay the fucking consequences for it? Even like your legal skills, you know, that's something that comes up for me, like the legal skills, right? Like I happen to know things about law, and you know, I get an idea that I fucking know how this thing works, right? And I get the idea that I know, like, oh, if I go this way, if I do it like this, and I'm not going to get in any trouble. If I do it like this, I could you maybe get some more money over here or something. You know, none of that stuff is valuable either. None of it means anything. You know, it's like this. Whatever you think you're weak in, everything you're weak about, that's God's strength. When you think you're strong in something, that's where you're blocking out the spirit, because you are relying on your own whatever smarts, intelligence, which you don't really have. You're only dreaming that you have, right? So I've been dreaming of myself who has a brilliant mind. So, and man, that's heavy, because then I got to rely on this fucking thing, right? And it's like, it's so much easier to just go, I'm a fucking idiot, which is the truth, right? That's the truth. And no one is brilliant at anything. All the things that you know, that's why it says in the Bible, wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. So whatever I think I know about the world, it's not really true. And these are the things that get you guys identifying with like Democrat, Republican stuff, right? This is the kind of thing that gets you guys identifying. It's like your worldly wisdom. You know, one ideology can't understand the other ideology. It's like, that's because they're both chaos. Neither of them mean anything, right? So my son, he's like, Mom, you know what? I realized that you really raised me in a right-wing kind of household. I'm like, is that right? He's like,
What is right wing?
it's like Republican side. The blues. Blue. One's blue and one's red.
Political thing?
Yeah. You don't. Oh yeah. Okay. So my son's like, Mom, you really raised me in a right-wing household, and you know, when people think of right-wing, of course they think of Trump and all that stuff, right? So Republican. Oh, it's red. Republican's red. Okay. Right. Okay. So I'm like, why do you say that? And he goes, and Democrats blue. Isn't that funny? They're like sports teams. They got colors. What's your color? Right. So I go, why do you say that? And he goes, I almost like got like in a fight with a girl, you know, because she was talking about like toxic men and stuff like that. And my son was going, well, you know what? I feel like I'm shamed for being masculine, actually. You know, I feel like, you know, like it's not like it's like bad to be masculine, because I'm a big, strong guy, you know. I feel like, and I guess she just went off on him, and he became a Republican and all this other stuff. So he's like, Mom, you raised me really right wing. I'm like, I don't know if I made you masculine, but that's cool. I didn't try to make you into a little pussy, but you know, I wasn't trying to convince you that you're a woman and you should get your dick cut off. But oh man. Good stuff. So he's like, well, I got to be careful what I say. I'm like, dude, you know me. I'm not careful what I say. Why don't you just be your fucking self and let the chips fall where they may? You know, that's the most fun. That is really the most fun. If you're trying to watch yourself, and that's what the whole control mechanism is. I don't care what side you're on. It's the ego that wants you to conform to the way people want you to be. Okay? Just conform. That's how it's always been. That's how the ego has always been, notwithstanding any political party. It's like you conform to this way of thinking. That's what the churches have been doing. Okay? And look, you know, I was just overhearing. I didn't even watch the movie. Tony was watching Elvis movie, the new Elvis movie that just started streaming on HBO Max. I heard it's fucking good. Tony was telling me about it, and he was talking about how Elvis was told that he has to go into the military because they didn't like the way he moved his body. Okay, because it seemed dangerous the way he moved his body. He was told he either needs to go to the military or he's going to jail.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm like, who the fuck told him that? Because that wasn't a thing. Here I go again with my brilliant legal mind. Even in that time, that wasn't a thing. Okay. Like, it's not like, hey, you're going to jail for moving that way, or you got to go to the military. The guy didn't like give him the finger, you know, he just like going ahead and did it because that's the conditioning, right? Someone just comes to you and they're in authority and they tell you, here's what you do. And, you know, it's kind of like this way of thinking is the authority where someone's victimizing someone. The term toxic male is a victim concept. Okay, just that term at all. It's a victim concept. Okay, if I get the impression that a male is toxic, I know I fucking made him that way. That's my responsibility. That's like a child that I've harmed. I'm the one making him toxic. If I'm perceiving it, I'm projecting it. There's no way out of that. There's no way around it. If I'm perceiving a toxic male, I'm projecting a toxic male. That's like a child. That's like someone who needs compassion. Okay. It's not someone that I want to marginalize and then make, oh, there it is again. Oh, I see the toxic male again. Oh, I see it again. Oh, do you now? That's how it goes. Congratulations. That's manifestation. Look, there's another one. In fact, all those fuckers are toxic. They should all cut off their dicks. That's how we'll know they're not toxic anymore. Yep, pretty right wing.
What part of us projects that? Like, do we feel toxic to ourselves? Is that why we project it? Or
oh yeah, it's like running away. It's yes, exactly. So it's the idea that we are toxic. That's just one way of it's like one way of describing you're guilty, right? It's just the thought of guilt for having separated, which didn't happen. The idea that you separated yourself from eternity is such a strong guilty feeling, and that manifests as fear and all these other kind of feelings. Okay, so the toxic, you call it toxic, that's just one flavor of the same thing, right? So it's just that one thing, it's just that one thought that you separated yourself sets up all these other toxic thoughts, you could say, right? So we're projecting toxicity to outside of ourselves. We're projecting things and people that are victimizing us to outside of ourselves. That's the whole thing that's keeping us propping up this make-believe world. Okay. And we do it over and over again. I mean, and it's sneaky. It's sneaky. Okay. That's why, you know, there's the saying of presence, being present to the situation. And the reason I say, hey, you guys, meditation doesn't work because that's you're sitting in a spot and you're doing whatever with your mind, but that's not in the moment where you're actually triggered. It's good practice if you feel drawn to it, but in the moment where you're triggered, that's where it has to be. You can call that the meditation. You know, I've said, okay, stay in meditation, just stay in meditation. So you're taking everything as an energetic thing and not as a reality, right? And then you're able to meet it as that energetic play and not as if it's your reality. If it's your reality, yes, you're justified in trying to run away from it, right? If it's real, you're justified. And that's the thing, you think it's real. We all do, myself included. Otherwise, you wouldn't think you saw this body, okay? It would be translucent to you. You know, if I wanted to appear to you, I could. It would be translucent. I wouldn't need to carry my fucking purse around with money in it. If I need to buy something, I just go like this and there's money. Okay. You don't have to go to the bathroom if you are, totally seeing through this thing. And that's the goal. All right. That's the goal. And it's a process. All right. It's a process of seeing through layer after layer after layer. And we just keep on knowing that is the plan for our salvation, that is the plan. You keep going with the plan until you do see through it. And it's like everything lightens up for you along the way. So it's like, I'm not in a hurry to get out of this. It's not even happening. I was saying the goal is to escape dreaming. I was sharing that with my son. We were watching some Gaia TV, and man, it was lame as fuck. They had a tarot deck, and it's just ridiculous. Whenever I watch someone stumbling through a tarot deck trying to describe what's on the card and all that stuff, it just looks so ridiculous to me. So she's like talking about what all this symbolism means, and this guy's big, and it's like this, and they're small, and they're down there crying, and that's what this means. And then my son goes, Mom, you could totally do a show like that. And I go, yeah, but the shit I say is way too fucking awesome for that channel. Okay. They're not ready for that. All right. They're ready for tarot cards and, they're not really getting to the reality. Okay. How do you actually see through this thing though? Do we want to see through it? That's the thing. Do we even want to see through it? It seems like the spiritual community doesn't really want to see through the world. Right? It seems like the spiritual community wants to use their spiritual skills to get what they think they want in the world. Right? And there's nothing here. They just like, they don't say, hey, there's actually nothing here. These tarot cards, I'm just making all this shit up. None of this shit matters. It's nothing. Right? So I was sharing that with my son. I was like, yeah, but the things I say, that's not for them. That's not for that kind of thing. And he's like, well, something about enlightenment. And I go, well, for me, enlightenment is escaping the world we think we see. That's what it is. It's actually escaping the world. And my son goes, but why would you want to escape the world? A lot of times people don't get that when they hear that. Why would you want to escape the world? Because the world seems like the only thing there is. Really, it's not here. Because it's not here. It's actually not here. Right? And so my son, he's like so open to me right now. It's so sweet. He looks at it and he goes, what you mean, Mom, is that all the stuff that we make up about bad things and all this other stuff, that stuff really doesn't mean anything, right? And I go, yeah, that's it. I didn't go any deeper than that because I could sense that there's a block. Like, no, I do not want to know that what I think I see isn't actually here. I do not want to know that I'm not this person and you're not my mom. Right, that I'm talking to. I do not want to know this stuff. So when he said, you mean that? Okay, yeah, that's enough. That's enough for now. That whatever you're making of it, you're just driving yourself crazy. It's not worth it. That's enough. That's enough for a lot of people. Because when you start going down that road, of okay, there I go making myself crazy again. My son's only 20 and he's seen that a bunch of times where he makes himself crazy. He's like, oh, I see what I'm doing. And then he goes and he gets a job in a restaurant, right? And he comes back and he reports to me that he got scolded. They were real busy and the manager said, damn it, Blaze, you need to work harder. You need to whatever. They're yelling at him. And she's like, do your fucking job. So he goes, yeah, I realize that when I'm at that job for those 6 hours, I cannot be thinking about my shit. I can't be emotional. I can't be thinking about whatever it is that has been weighing on my head. I got to be focused on that job. So he has a thing now where he just turns on a focus when he arrives there. Because if he's not, everyone can tell. He's the only guy working either the expediter or the busser. And so people could tell. So he sees how he's in total control of that. Total control of it. The thing is, we're just way permissive with our mind. We're just so permissive with it. We just let it freaking run us into some emotional thing. And you see that when you have to work a job like he's working, he has no space to be spacing out in his thoughts. He can't. Everyone notices. And he's going to get yelled at, and he's probably going to get fired. So since that, he's been so much more even because he can see, oh, I don't have to go there. You know, everything seems to be so big. Like he's on a dating scene, right? So he'll get a date with someone and he'll evaluate how he acted when he talked to them. And you know, he'll talk to me about it, and I'll go, there's just nothing to evaluate. Don't attempt to evaluate yourself. That's a trick. There's no one ever saw you. Everyone's in their own little dream, in their own little lonely fucking nightmare dream. Okay. They're thinking about how they acted. You're thinking about how you acted. Sometimes they think they're thinking about you, but they're actually thinking about themselves. Who gives a shit what they think about you? They're thinking about themselves. There's nothing to do with you. I just don't even go there. I just act how I act and don't go there. God. I love the way you slap me and shove that red pill down my throat. That's looking awesome. Your teaching is one of the rawest, savage forms of spirituality. I like it. You sock it to him. It's hardcore. Oh man, that's fun when you say sock it to him to me. It's the Peter Pan victim concept. Oh, you're talking about the toxic masculinity thing. Yeah, I don't know if you're the one to be talking about that, Niall. You and your weapons. Oh, I got stuff over here. You had COVID? Fun. No, I didn't have COVID. There's no such thing as COVID. Oops. That's how I get myself banned from YouTube. Just kidding. Anon, I love you. It seems like we love the creative exercise of infinite apparent possibilities, negativity included. Bring on the drama. But I think we made it on purpose because it's entertaining. And we like to forget we made it because that's what, wait a minute, this is long, hold on. And that's what makes it interesting. But it doesn't matter because we are already inextricable from the truth, despite anything that appears. Yes, that is it. That's right. It doesn't matter. That's the bottom line on everything. It doesn't matter. At first, that scared my family members. But then they realized, hey, she can't get pissed at me for anything. I can do anything and she won't get pissed at me. In fact, I had a friend tell me yesterday I was going to go visit him. And I said, I'm going to do a couple things and then I'm going to cruise over there. And he's like, okay, well, if you come at this time, that'll be good. But anytime you come, that'll be good. And if you don't come at all, that'll also be good. And I go, what I'm getting here is that whatever I do, it's perfect for you. Yes, that's what I'm saying. These are the kind of friends I have. So I ended up completely flaking on him and he was fine with it. Told me ahead of time he would be. That's how we do it. You know, we don't have to worry about things, right? We don't have to worry about it. Oh gosh, should I stand him up? You guys, you don't freaking have a choice in anything you're doing. You know, it's as if we have this life to live. You know, people go, okay, the world's not real, but we have this life to live. And how so? How so? It's just doing it by itself. You don't have to get up in the morning. You don't have to get up. You don't have to go to work or whatever it is you think you do every day. You don't have to do any of that stuff because you're not capable of doing any of that stuff. You're having a dream that you're doing that stuff. You don't have a life to live. You can't choose it to be a different way like that. You don't make those kinds of choices. You're just watching a show of yourself going through the motions that you need to go through that are for awakening your mind. So no, you don't. It's not like, okay, yeah, we're infinite, but we have this life to live. It's like saying, okay, yeah, we're infinite, but I want to be distracted for a little while from that. Right? That's really the truth. I don't want to know that. I want to be distracted from that for a little while. And you know, that's fine. People are scared. I see that. That's why I didn't press the issue with my son the other day. And I go, no, what I'm saying is that what you think you're seeing, it's not fucking here. There's nothing here. I get the sense that that I'm really alone, which I love. Because people aren't willing to see that there's nothing here. There's no body. What you made up, it isn't true. You know, there's a lot of arrogance that goes along with what cause and effect are. It's always given me like a weird feeling whenever someone would tell me like cause and effect kind of stuff. Like, or, oh, you should have, if you do it like this, then that kind of thing won't happen. And like, people really trust this cause and effect thing to the point where there's arrogance about it. So I was at like a beauty kind of doctor's office one time, and I was getting like an assessment. You know, they were telling me what they think I should do for myself, you know, so that I don't look like I'm fucking 50 when I'm 50. So they're assessing me, and I had a mark that was apparently from a burn when I was cooking. I had like a mark right here, you know, and when the doctor saw my skin, she's like, "Oh, you're a skin cancer candidate for sure." I'm like, "Oh, really?" You know, you get what you expect. Look at the way we think about things. And this is training. This is medical training for you. Okay. And I think you have skin cancer right now. And I'm like, you do? Yeah, that part where I got burned, right? She was like, yeah, right there. That's skin cancer. I know it. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I burned myself cooking though, and then that's what's left over from that. And she's like, "Oh, okay, all right, well, scratch that," you know. The perception just changed real fast, right? Like, and like really like and just the idea, and it was interesting just for me to see the mindset. I didn't end up ordering anything. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't realize what I was getting myself into going in there, but I just went for an assessment. I didn't want to like jump into anything. I was just seeing like, what do you guys got? Like, you know, I haven't seen what the technology is in this beauty treatment thing these days. What do you guys have now? Right? Turns out they have shit. Okay, they want to fill your face with a whole bunch of silicone. Okay, want to put a whole bunch of silicone in my face, and then make sure I save money because I'm gonna want a facelift in 10 years, and that's gonna be expensive. So I should start putting money away now. I'm like, damn, okay, I'm off this ride right now. I'm getting off this ride. And it was during COVID season where everyone was compliant wearing their masks except me. I actually said, I'm not coming in there with a fucking mask on, guys. Like, I'm there for a beauty treatment, maybe. I'm not going to be wearing a mask. So they had me come. I didn't have to go in the back door, but they had me come when there were no other patients. And they put me straight to a room. So she comes and she's got her mask on and she's telling me all this stuff through her mask, right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about all those fillers. You really think I need all those fillers? Well, that make my face big or something? Well, yeah, it's going to fill out your face, basically. Oh, okay. And then she takes off her mask to show me. And then I knew for sure I was not getting it. I wasn't sure if that was the result of someone mating with a fish. That's what it looked like to me. Someone maybe mated with a fish, and that's what they got. So that's how I knew I'm not gonna be going to places like that. The technology, and this is what I've seen about technology. Okay, that's one aspect of technology. Now, I started when I was probably like 30. I think I was only like 30 years old. I started getting Botox on my forehead. Because I saw some chicks that were 38 and they made the same kind of expressions that I made with the eyebrows, and they had lines right across their forehead at 38, right? And I'm like, how do I get out of that one? I want to know, how do I get out of that? So that was the thing in that day. And I think that shit worked. That because I don't have a bunch of deep ass lines across my forehead. Again, cause and effect doesn't really mean anything. I got that thing probably like, I don't know how many times. Anyways, that's the best they still got. They haven't advanced in technology at all. They think they got some good stuff, but that's looking crazy. It's actually looking crazy to me. All right. It's like, if you live in a metro area, like say you live in Orange County, California, where I used to be from, that's normal because that's normal to them because they just see the same faces. And basically, you know, what one of my sisters told me is that if you're rich or not even rich, just like you have reasonable amount of money, you do not have a wrinkle on your face. You just have that thing all filled out. Okay. You have the big face, look, big face, lips, like a fish. But they all see each other, and that's the normal, like, society normal way of being, and they see it over and over again, so it becomes normalized. The kids see it and they think it's normal. So then, you know, like when you go to that place, that quote unquote beauty place, even the chick, I think she's in her 20s, she's got a face like that too. Like they don't go for any wrinkles, right? So it's just like setting up these mindsets and then acting like we got this good technology. You don't. Yeah. You got shit. The best thing you got is Botox. And that's a fucking, it's some kind of neurotoxin or something. It freezes your nerves. So it's like, same thing with computers. Look at, okay, this is one thing that I've experienced over and over again. It does not matter how good that technology gets with the computer. Oh, this is so convenient. No, it's not. It's not any more convenient than it ever was. We have an illusion of convenience. That the shit breaks down. You got to call someone. Sometimes they don't care. They're acting like they're not caring. Sometimes they're condescending with you because you don't know how to use the computer like they do. It's just like, it just sets up a whole new set of problems. That's all. There's nothing fucking that's going to be invented that's going to make our lives easier. It's not making anyone's life easier. It's no different from the day we had no technology at all. It's not easier. Okay. We're doing different things. Look, the grocery store, for one thing. Fucking walk around the grocery store. Look at all the shit it's passing off as food. Look at that. It's like, I look at a box of food and I could just see right through it. It's like, how do I get away with using the cheapest shit to pass off as food so I can make the most amount of money? That's what I see when I'm looking at all these boxes everywhere. It's like, what in the world? What colors should I put on the box to get them to buy my fake ass plastic fucking food? GMO, whatever. It's a freaking weird, it's a weird game. And we've all been tricked into playing this weird game and acting like we're civilized, like now we're ahead or something. First thing is we put clothes on, right? We put clothes on ourselves. Now we take ourselves seriously. You don't see our genitals hanging out. Don't see how silly we really are. See, I'm proper. I got all the right things covered up.
On the topic of food, I wanted to ask you a question. Basically, I've been listening to your podcast like over the last few days, and also like heard you a bit at the Hawaiian Sanctuary. And what stood out to me is when you were saying how, you know, you actually can't get sick and things like that.
Right.
But for me, I definitely perceive myself to get sick often, and I feel like my body could be healthier and things like this. But then when you say that, what I wonder is because you seem like you are a healthy person. As you said, you can see through unhealthy boxes, and maybe you don't eat that, but you eat like Whole Foods or whatever it is. But like, what would be the motivator if you're saying like nothing is real and things like that? Like, what is there a motivator to eat healthy, and what's your, like, do you understand my question?
I do understand your question.
Yeah,
yes.
Because I'm kind of trying to understand that. Then it's like, you know, but I was reading a book about Four Agreements the other day about how we are the biggest abusers to ourselves, and about guilt and shame, and a lot of that is related to food for me. So it's like, is the way to just look at it as like an act of self-love, or like to be in alignment with spirit, like what's going to make me feel good, to feel God, or like?
Well, the food isn't going to make you feel anything. It's all coming from your mind. Okay. So you're relating with everything. Now, you know, I'm relating with food and everything on an energetic. It's energetic. So it's like I could see the pattern from which it arises. I could see the energetic pattern from which the food arises. All right. That doesn't dictate to me whether I'm going to eat it or not. I don't know if I'm going to eat it. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just not buying into the game, though. I can see the game being played. Like my family, they love having that packaged shit. They love having that stuff. Cereal, chips, waffle mix, whatever, all that kind of stuff. It's not appealing to me for the most part. You know, I don't get to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I'm hungry, I got to eat something. I'm not like that. I'm just going with an energetic, and you know, for me, I'm mostly drawn to Whole Foods. The other day I ordered Pizza Hut for my son, and I had a piece of the Pizza Hut pizza. I don't think anything of it. It's just like there's a sense like, hey, I'm eating some Pizza Hut pizza. God, it tastes like shit. Have another bite. You know, make sure it really. What the hell? I remember that shit being good. What did they do to it? I remember getting Pizza Hut pizza. For one thing, it was $20, including the tip. They'd come and deliver it, and you'd get this pizza, and you'd take the pizza slice out, and the cheese would go like that, and it would be, oh, what a treat. That thing was like dry. There's barely any toppings. Is that the new technology pizza? I don't know. I was like, really? And it was $40. I was like, wow, I've been out of the loop. What happened here? Yeah. Anyways, your question.
Because sometimes I do feel drawn to those foods.
Well,
and then I feel guilty for it after.
Yeah, it's the guilt. It's the guilt that's the issue. That's all it is.
Expand in my body, and then
you get what you expect. Yeah, you get what you expect, and you're giving that food a bunch of power over you to affect how you feel. Does not affect no food affects how you feel. Do an exercise with it. That's what I did. I did exercises with it. I would get the sense that I just ate something wrong because my tummy would be hurting afterwards, right? It seems really real. I ate that and then my tummy hurt, right? So it seems like, wow, I shouldn't eat that anymore. Now I'm really putting a burden on myself because I don't have a choice in whether I eat it or not, but I'm saying I shouldn't eat that anymore. Oh my God, right? So I started noticing when I was doing that to myself. I'm like, no, I'm not going to believe that the food is making me feel like that. I'm projecting this feeling. I'm responsible for this feeling. All the gurgling in my stomach, whatever's going on, I'm responsible for it. The food did not, for one thing, I didn't eat anything. Really, that's the truth. You didn't eat anything. Time isn't like that. Time is an illusion. That time that seems to have gone before and preceded the upset stomach, that didn't happen. Okay? There's not cause and effect like that. There's no such thing as that. But we've made it seem so real that we just take it for that's the reality. If you go out drinking and then the next morning you wake up with a hangover, right? You call it a hangover because you were drinking the night before. But there was no night before. That's a dream that there was a night before. You didn't have the drink. You're projecting a hangover now. That's your punishment. Okay? So you're expanding and your yucky feelings in the body, that's your punishment for doing it wrong. And you're the one making it like you're doing it wrong. You're the one making it like you're doing anything. You're not doing anything. You're dreaming. So it's your mind that's going to tune into, I'm making this up. It's your mind that's going to demonstrate to itself that you're dreaming. Okay. So your habit is to demonstrate that dream images are real and they have effects on you. That's your habit. Okay. So that's going to lead you to dream up that you're eating things that aren't good for you and you're getting the effects that you expect. That's all. See? Now, in my experience, what I find is that as time progresses, I'm more and more drawn to food that's like whole food. I'm more and more drawn that way, but I don't give a shit what I eat. I do not care. It doesn't matter to me. Okay? Pizza, I call it pizza slut. Okay? I still eat it. Apparently, I ate it the other night. But it's no different from me eating something else. And my goal, you'd say my purpose, my function in something like that is just to deny truth to illusions. Right? That's all I'm doing. Because I'm going to get, in this particular case, did I notice any effects from the pizza? I don't think I did. In this particular case, I didn't seem to notice any effects from eating the pizza. Okay. But when I do notice effects from stuff, my whole purpose and function in that is to deny truth to those cause and effects kind of thoughts that are arrogantly telling me why I'm getting that effect. Because I know that's not the truth. And my whole thing is to demonstrate it to myself, right? Not to try to get other people to act different. Hey, would you guys please just act different? Quit acting like things are affecting you. Oh, I got people writing over here. Okay, let's see what's happening. Rory, how cute. You don't have a life to live, just a now moment of awareness. However, the moment isn't this, it's an energy play. Yeah, it sounds about right, Rory. Sounds good. I love you. I just love to see your name, Rory McLeese. Yay. Yeah, the life that you seem to be living is just being lived. There's nothing for you to do about it. Okay. It's not like, yeah, but yeah, Hope, you're right. It's all love, but I got this life. No, you don't. You have a semblance of a life that you're trying to make real to avoid loving right now. It doesn't help. Thank God for your laughter. What a true blessing. Oh, I love you, Amanda. Yay, I love to laugh with you. Bob and I made an $8 frozen DiGiorno pizza recently, and it was good. You know what? I'm telling you, Anon, my sons make DiGiorno pizza too. It kicks the ass of Pizza Hut. Okay? I'm not sure how that fucker's in business. Who the hell is ordering that more than once? You can go get a frozen pizza from the grocery store. It's way better. Wild.
Can you complete that part when you said that, the Pizza Hut, let's say it does seem to have an effect the next day.
Yeah.
So the truth that you are seeing there is that it's not because of the pizza. That's one thing.
Right.
Secondly, I'm aware of this sensation. It's not that it is actually affecting me.
Right.
Is that how you're seeing it?
Yes, definitely. There's thoughts about, and these thoughts will repeat over and over again. It's almost like a woodpecker pecking, right? It's like over and over again about how you need to make better choices on your food. Okay. I know you're getting that. Anyone who gets the sense that they're expanding or feeling uncomfortable is getting that. It's pressure. It's a burden on yourself. Like you need to make better choices. That's the ego. You're not choosing anything. The more you believe in that, the more you're going to perceive yourself just not being able to get it right. What's wrong with me? Why can't I have willpower? See?
The funny thing is that all of these are like after effects. The thoughts are after the choice being made.
Right.
So they can never actually interfere with the choice.
Right. That's right. Well, and that's the thing about the seeming choices that we're making. Those are leading us on a path so that we could see that we're making it all up. Okay. So there's these seeming, you're not making a choice to eat that food. You're not. It's just, it's like in the moment, that's what's called for, that's occurring. And then you write a big story about it. Right. It's like the left brain, right brain thing. So your right brain is just like having the experience, taking in all the sensations, right? And the food that you seem to be eating, that's part of the sensation to be taken through. I don't know if it's left or right. I get those confused all the time. But anyway, the one that thinks it's smarter, whatever side that is, it starts interpreting the sensation and makes it into something that's affecting you. Nothing's affecting you. That's the same thing as, taking the world as if it's threatening. Taking a food, even if it's healthy. Now, I get the sense all the time, that I need more collagen because I seem to be seeing more wrinkles now, right? So I get the sense that I need some more collagen. Do I believe in that shit? No. Do not believe in that shit. However, I do find myself buying bone broth from my friend Leia and eating bone broth with an egg in it every morning, which I know happens to have collagen in it. Okay. But I know I don't have a fucking choice in whether I drink that stuff. I know I don't have a choice in it. So when the thought is, oh, you're doing good. Look at you. You're buffing up your collagen. Pretty soon you're going to see fewer wrinkles. Woohoo. I don't believe in that shit. I just don't believe in it. These are just like dribbling out. Okay. These thoughts, they're worldly thoughts are just like dribbling. They're like dripping. Yeah. And they're meaningless. I don't have a choice in whether I drink that freaking bone broth and egg. You know, it seems to be appealing to me. Seems to be the most appealing thing for me to have first thing in the morning after I have my block therapy, of course. Block therapy is the most appealing thing every morning. It's amazing. And night. I'll do it at night too. I don't care. So yeah, if you look at my life, it's like, wow, this person lives really healthy. You know, oh, there's spliffs in there. You know, those might be something that you might go, oh, wow, that person's addicted to spliffs. They have spliffs every day, right? It's a mixed bag. Oh, do you smoke spliffs every day? Yeah. Even when I seem to have COVID, apparently. maybe not as much, but still, there's not a day goes by without a spliff. Which we'll see when I go on a trip. We'll see what happens when I go on a trip. If there's any spliffs on, I doubt it. Just because it's not that chill. You know, I live in Hawaii. I can just chill out right on my patio and have a nice spliff whenever I want. Right? Mainland, I'm not going to try that hard, probably. Try to get a spliff in there. But there might be pizza. There might be, I don't know. I just don't take that stuff to actually matter, to have any kind of effect. And that includes not eating too. If you're not eating, if you're not drinking, doesn't matter. And when you know you don't have a choice in it, then you don't have to fret about it. Mm-hmm. It's just unfolding. So you can get the sensation. You can get all the sensations of it. I mean, it's even fun having a sensation of eating shitty cardboard pizza. It's a sensation.
Right. Yeah, everything.
Yeah. That's why I kept on. I ate the whole piece. Could have stopped after the first bite and go, damn, that's a bad pizza. Tastes like cardboard. It tastes like it came out of a cardboard box.
Okay, one other question.
Yes.
So the choice being made is something you're saying is happening automatically. It's not me making a choice. Then the thought after that, which says I did make the choice, that is also happening automatically. Even the thought of having that thought is not something that I'm actually doing.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
So, you know, in conversation, we tend to say that you didn't make a choice, but you are thinking this way that you made a choice. But actually, you're not even thinking this way that you made a choice. Even that is an automatic process too.
That is.
So the part is to see behind all of this that neither the thinking nor the eating or whatever appears to be the change in the energy, because thought is an energy like anything else. It's simply being perceived.
That's right. And it's also just a thought to the thought that you're not making a choice. So, you know, even the thought that you're not making a choice,
this is a thought.
It's a thought. Yes, exactly. And is that one interesting to you? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because that thought will wipe away all the delusional shit.
Right.
Right. So it's like, is that thought interesting to you? Mm-hmm. So for a lot of people, the thought that you're not making a choice, that thought isn't interesting to them. Mm-hmm. I've been sitting at Hawaiian Sanctuary one time, and I think the guy was talking about smoking spliffs, actually. Mm. And he's like, yeah, I just don't really mind if I smoke spliffs or not. And I go, oh, is that because you know you're not making any choices? And he goes, oh, no, I know I make all of my choices, you know. And so you could see the commitment to that. So the thought is actually offensive. The thought that you don't make any choices in this world is actually offensive to the ego. That's why I'm like, okay, brah, you're in charge, apparently. have it that way.
It almost feels like the sense of I has a curve, like starting with the baby, maybe they're not consciously projecting, or their brain is not working in this way that the identity around the thought is being built. But then slowly as brain is developing, the identity starts building. So it starts saying, I will do this. I want to do that. I have been making all the choices. And then maybe comes a time where it starts relaxing.
Yes.
Out of its maturity that, oh, actually, I haven't been doing anything. So I can
well, first you start with, I hope I'm not actually making any of these choices.
Yeah.
I hope I never make any of these choices.
Yeah, I'm not hopeless probably making choices.
Yeah. Oh, well, at first you don't want to even hear that thought when when you're building. Yeah, that's how it goes. You build with the ego. As a child, that's what you do. You build with the ego. Mm-hmm. You build it up, and then you start to go down and you go the other way. And depending, I see my son going on the other side of it at 20 years old. Mm-hmm. That's pretty young. Mm-hmm. And he built it up hard. He told me today that my daughter asked him if he stopped blaming me for everything yet. Because I was the one who made his life so hard, because when he was a little kid, I told him the world isn't real. Mm. Hey, buddy, I'm not really your mom. And wow. He was like 8 or something. Wow. He had a hard time. He's over there trying to build his ego, right? I'm like, you're not even real. The world isn't even real. Just chill out and have a good time, buddy. You don't have to worry about shit. Natalie's saying there's so many spliffs on the mainland. Yeah, things have changed. Things have changed, huh? Yeah. Well, I'm going to visit my daughter. Really, my daughter is the one who introduced me to spliffs. I did not smoke spliffs. I did not smoke tobacco. But it was probably 2016 or something like that. And she had spliffs, and I got to taste the spliff one time, and I was like, that's for me. I'm gonna start smoking. As soon as I tasted one of it, I just knew it. I was like, that is freaking good. And so my daughter smoked spliffs. So I would have her, at first I was paying her to roll me spliffs because I didn't know how to do it. Pay her $5 a spliff or something. Yeah. And so she would be rolling for me. And then eventually, I started smoking I got up to smoking 6 spliffs a day or something. I would just chill out in my garden all day long when before the lava came where I used to stay. I'd chill out in my garden all day long, and I just smoked spliffs out there and just chill, just spacing out in the garden. Spliffs. I just do that all day long. And then I just kept on smoking. I smoke way less. I don't smoke 6 a day. I don't even feel close to getting close to 6 a day. But I still like to smoke them. And my daughter stops. She can't do any weed or alcohol or anything. She's not drawn to it at all. So that's why I'm saying I'm going to be hanging out with my daughter. And she doesn't have spliff material. But who knows? I'm open. I'm open to spliff smoking. Yeah. Yeah, anytime we try to save ourselves, and that could be physically, it could be financially, the idea we need to save up more money, all that kind of stuff, it's all leading to death. It's not helpful. It's okay if you're saving money. That does not matter. That doesn't make a difference. The idea you need to to prevent you from going into debt or something. That is leading to death. You don't need anything. You don't need to do anything different. You sure as heck don't need to improve yourself. Okay? The first thing crossed my mind, I saw Nael's name, because Nael, first thing in this, you know, he was talking about he wants to get better at reacting. So he's not like getting ready to pull out some weapons when someone thinks he parked wrong. Right? And, you know, that's the first thing I think of. It's like, you cannot improve yourself. You cannot do that. You can't improve yourself. You can only be aware. You can be aware of your motivations. When you're aware that you're reacting to things being threatening, you start to see through it. Let it be a gradual process that it is, because that's the way it has to be. You can't take that much pain on at once. Right? You're only going to take as much pain as you can. And I need the charger. I know it's been months, but I do. I think it's in its natural spot. I think it's in its natural habitat over there.
It's been months or what, like since the charger now.
What was that?
It's been months or what? You said it's been months.
Oh, since I've had to charge during Wisdom Dialogues.
During this.
Right. Oh, yeah. During Wisdom Dialogues. Yeah. I usually have it plugged in upstairs, but it's possible if that's not plugged into the wall. I don't know. I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't last the 2 hours. I think people like to have me say, and go get the charger. I think someone commented that on YouTube one time. And to get the charger. And it's kind of like my assistant, because she comes to every Wisdom Dialogue, even if I go in person. In fact, I'm going to be going in person again. The first in-person one I'm probably going to do is going to be down at the Trading Post. You guys know where the Trading Post is? You know where Cinderland is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the next driveway on the road.
Okay.
On Saturdays, they have a farmer's market down there. You should check it out. You'll like it. You'll like all those peeps down there.
It's after Cinderland.
But don't turn toward Cinderland. Don't go on Cinder Road, past Cinder Road, and then take the next turn. Okay, are we plugged in? Yes. Woo! We got another half hour then. 25 minutes, something like that.
That's okay. Okay.
What are we going to talk about for 25 minutes? I guess we'll have to see. We already know that none of this stuff is happening, but we're all faking it. We're all pretending like it's going on. Why? Why are we doing that? Huh? And taking things hard. You know, I get the thought come to me about, what am I doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. Don't evaluate. Who's evaluating? There's no need for that. I see people complaining on Facebook that they're lazy or they don't get out of bed. And it's like, you fucking aren't doing anything. You're never doing anything. Why are you making an evaluation about it and saying if it's bad or good? And who's to blame for that? Your mom? Did your mom raise you wrong? Oh, anyways, my son said he's done blaming me now, and I could tell he is. He got done with that. You know, he told me that Akea was at. He was like, you must have been talking about that on Wisdom Dialogues, because Akea comes on Wisdom Dialogues to get all the scoop on her brother. When he moved out, some of my friends were like, oh no, we want to still hear Blaze stories though. And I'm like, oh, you will. He comes around. So he's over it. He's over blaming me now. I was the one who made him go into business, because I always told another thing that I did besides telling him that the world wasn't real. I also told him that he was freaking genius. So then he thought he was a genius and he started a company. This is the story anyways. So he started a company thinking he was going to be a millionaire really fast. And instead he took out a bunch of loans and blew it all. And then it was like, why did you tell me that? I'm not anything special. I'm just average. I'm going to go be an average guy now and just do average stuff. Yeah. I'm like, go ahead. It doesn't change the situation. You're only pretending.
Yeah.
You're always just pretending. If you want to be average, mediocre, or whatever, you're only just pretending. And that's, you don't have a choice in that. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice in going and getting all these loans and starting a business and getting all egoed out and ditching all your friends and blowing everyone off so you could be a millionaire. You don't have a choice in that. It's just experience. We just get experience and then we go have a different experience. And then the experience keeps on changing. You just go through all these different kinds of experiences. None of them being right or anything. None of them being wrong either. They're just experiences, right? And you don't have to worry. You're not going to be hurting anyone. That's a big thing that people are concerned about, that they're going to hurt someone. You're not going to be hurting anyone to the extent that you're gentle with yourself. Even hurting someone that seems on accident, it's the exact same thing as on purpose. I never got that when I was a kid, but my parents did. My parents, would tell me that. Like, if you hurt someone on accident, there's no such thing as an accident. It's always the same. And you cannot really inflict any kind of harm on another person. You cannot really do that. You can only have a dream that you do that, and that's you harming yourself. So you don't have to be concerned about harming other people. And look at the reason I say that is because your concern does hurt your mind and cause you to have manifestations of harming people. Okay. So that's why I say you don't have to be concerned about it, because it's your concern in the first place that's causing it to occur. Even you're having perceptions of other people harming other people, it's coming from your concern. Okay? You can be completely carefree. The more carefree you are with the awareness that you're totally innocent, incapable of doing any harm, the less you're going to perceive harm. They can hear me. These guys online, they can hear me. The thing picks up on my voice, but I'm shouting for you guys. Because it's freaking loud when it rains around here. Ah. So I had a perception when my 14-year-old was like 1 year old or something. And, he's, cute little baby. And I'm over there and I'm buttoning his shirt. And all of a sudden he gets this look of horror on his face. And then he like starts crying. And I'm like, what's going on? And I'm still trying to button his shirt. I realize I'm buttoning his skin in the button. And oh my God, I felt so bad because like here I am like hurting my son. And I'm watching his face turn to horror. I'm watching him start crying. And I'm still doing it because I don't know I'm doing it. But it's like, that is what I'm talking about. It's not an accident. It's not an accident. It's a projection. It's a projection of how I'm hurting myself with my thoughts. Okay. And when I take it like, oh my God, I'm so careless or whatever, and start guilting myself for it, what I'm doing is I'm attacking myself further. So then I'm going to see more manifestations of harm. See how that setup is? So it's like we work ourselves into these ways where we don't know why. We just always keep on having these accidents, right? Or we're hurting someone or we're hurting ourselves. You have to let yourself off the hook. It's really hard when it's your baby, right? It's not really your baby. That's the setup. It's this poor innocent thing, and you did it to them, right? It's a story. It's a setup so that there could be more of that. So that the whole purpose, the whole mind function in something like that is to let yourself off the hook so you can see. You can't see through the guilt. You can't see through the shame you're projecting. And the cause of it in the first place is shame projecting. We're very shameful, you know, because we're projecting this idea that we separated ourselves. So over and over again, we're buying into the shame. So really, all we need to see through this world is to see through our shame. And that's going to get us to stop punishing ourselves. Okay, that's really the whole thing. Like, if you look at it, like every single thing that occurs is for that. But see, what people are doing instead is getting really distracted about worldly things. Oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay the rent? It's like, who fucking made that up? Who even made that up? That's ridiculous. You're dreaming that you have rent. And now you have to, first you're dreaming you have rent. And then you're dreaming that you have to fucking do something about it. You never did anything about it. You never paid your rent before. You had a dream about these things. And they're a setup for making your mind clouded. That's all. So the goal is to see through all of these clouds. One by one, they pop up. And it's just taking willingness to see past it. Just a little willingness to look past it, and you get the help that you need. You know, the spirit comes right in and helps you when you're willing. Am I willing to go toward innocence? Now, what I see about myself, you know, people ask me too, like, how are you happy all the time? And what I see about myself is I'm more willing to go to innocence than most people. I'm not sure I ever met anyone that will let themselves off the hook as much as I will. I'm not sure I have ever met anyone like that. That means everyone else is off the hook too, though. I can't be holding other people on the hook, right?
Yeah.
So then that lets me be happy no matter what. Yeah. It doesn't matter what kind of events take place. Doesn't matter if my cat died or my fucking relationship blows up or my business blows up, or I'm just the same. They come and repo my car, my beautiful cherry red 4Runner. Oh my God, my car. So I was telling you guys about the psychedelic freaking grocery store trip. So I swear, I look out to the parking lot. I didn't know where my car was, but all I have to do is look out to the parking lot and I can see it's the most beautiful car in the parking lot. It is so fucking pretty. It's like cherry red, somehow shinier than every other car. I commented like 3 times with my son, this car is just like really beautiful. So that's why that one comes up, you know. It's like, well, what if your car gets repoed? I'm the same. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm enjoying it in the moment. Presented to me. It's not like I need it to be happy. Oh, what if you don't have any clothes? Then I'm naked and I'm the same. Okay, and then you're gonna see what's under these clothes. You might not be impressed. You know, it's like we think that these things make us, or, you know, or my husband. I've had that one too, like my whole life. You know, people have to find a reason why I'm a happy person. Can you just be happy for no reason though? Can you? I mean, shit. I was called a happy person when I was like 4 years old, going off to some weird religious camp with other 4-year-olds. They're getting conditioned in some weird religious camp, right? And I'm over there like, yeah, well, we're just gonna have a kick out time. Come on, you guys, between the spankings, we can have some fun. Like, you don't need a reason. But, you know, I've heard my partner, oh, well, anyone who has a partner that loves them that much, they're going to be happy, right? And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever it is, if people need to tell themselves that, it looks to me like an excuse. It looks to me like some kind of excuse. Like, well, I don't have that, so I'm justified in being sad. I'm justified in being the sad face. I don't have what you have. You know, one guy told me I was good looking, and that's why I'm happy. Hey, do you think maybe I'm good looking because I'm happy? Could that be the case? What if I lived my whole life all pissed off and then I hit 50 years old? I might not look that good, right?
An analogy that came to my mind was that maybe, let's say you were a toad and then you became a human. So you're just happy to be human.
Oh, yeah.
While everyone else believes that they have been human multiple times, so they're trying to be better human.
They're trying to be better human.
So they're unhappy because not better enough, not better enough. They're not just happy to be human itself.
Yeah. One of my friends said, live it like you stole it.
No.
I think it's kind of funny that I seem to be going around with a female body too, because I don't feel female or male.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like I'm one of those or the other. I'm not going to be getting a dick or anything like that. I mean, I feel like whatever it is, I'm going to fucking work it. Like, if it's male, I'm going to work that one. If it's female, that's the one. But that's how it really is for everyone, because we're not these male and female things. There's no such thing as male and female, but we get the perception that we are, and then we also get a perception about how that thing is supposed to be. You know, when I was a young one, maybe like 13 and stuff like that, I went through a phase where I was a punker and I had a mohawk and I dressed like a dude and I walked like a dude and I just like did the whole guy part. I still liked guys. And you know, I scored guys too, even though I would walk like a dude, act all hardcore. Right. And you know, just go through different phases. Just have fun with whatever, and that's what it is. A body is like a phase. And this thing about like the male female thing, all that stuff, that's just making this separation like it's true. You guys, we're like in costumes here. Or that the body is like a costume, whether it's male or female, what color it is. How stupid is that we make up color stuff? How dumb is that? And then the ego is telling you how to feel. Like right now, like if you're a dark person, you should feel this way, and you should feel this way about certain words, right? And you know, if you're a dark person, you should definitely get immunized, because we care about you, dark people. But it's your neighbor, it's your white neighbor who's actually against you. Oh, my son showed me this comedy guy. Man, he said, So apparently I got white privilege. He's a white guy. Apparently I got white privilege. Where do I go to use that stuff? Like how do I use that? and my neighbor, my black neighbors are telling me how I've screwed them over, and I'm going, then why am I your neighbor? Like, I just screwed you over and then moved in next door to you. It's a show. It's a show to get people to be at odds with each other. It's just like the Democrat Republic thing. It's funny, the Democrat Republican thing. It's sports colors. They got sports colors, you guys. Red and blue. This is just like when you go to a sporting event or a boxing match. I mean, does anyone else see this?
Absolutely.
And then get people to fight over it. And then you get the president going up and saying the ones, oh, they're extremists. The ones that think opposite to them, they're extremists. It was so great. I didn't see the speech, but I saw the memes. I love the memes, right? So this guy, the president, he's in this scene where it's red. It's a red scene.
Yeah.
And it's all about how these people are threats. Basically, the people who have the opposite ideology are threats and totally inciting violence. It was a trip. I'm like, hello. But I think people are seeing it. That's why you're seeing memes, right? I think the meme said something about calling him Dark Brandon. That one just cracks me up forever. Dark Brandon.
The hero villain thing is definitely much more exaggerated here in America, I feel.
It is, huh?
The red, blue.
Right. The evil villain thing. I know. It's like an archetype.
Yeah.
To me, it shows you that it's the end time, so to speak. And you know, we're all on an individual journey of awakening. So it's like a lonely journey of awakening, right? And we're seeing the end time. That's a sign for us. All right. It's like, keep going. You're seeing through the whole thing. And the thing is, there's nothing scary about it. When you see the comic of it, it's comical. It's like that guy's like a comedian. That's why it's funny. It's not like it's something that we have to take seriously. But that's the thing is, it's meant to be taken seriously. That's the mind control over the people. All they have to do, basically it's the ego. It's not a specific they like that. Everyone's innocent. So it's like the certain people are kind of like puppets of the ego for a while. They're still innocent for a time. They're like puppets of the ego, right? And the trajectory is, their goal is to get you to comply with their thinking agenda, which is seriousness. It's seriousness. It's to take that shit seriously. Look, if no one was taking it seriously, who would they be talking to? They're not talking to me. They haven't been talking to me for like 25 years. I think I was in my 20s. I just like, so who are they talking to at one point? They've got to be stupid to be taking this stuff seriously, to be looking at this stuff and taking it serious. Who are they talking to there? Right? So a lot of people just turn it off. And that's awesome too. There's just, it doesn't matter if you're watching it or not. The thing is, notice that it's meant to be taken seriously. It's meant for you to take it seriously. When you don't take it seriously, it has no power. That's the same thing with anything. The financial, don't take that financial shit seriously. That's bullshit. Everything that tells you that you need some savings, some kind of, save up for your facelift, right? You're going to really be in trouble if you don't have, I don't know. I don't remember how much she told me I needed for that thing. I think she said 40 grand.
Wow, for your costume?
Yeah, for my, make my costume less wrinkly, right? I got to tell you, I'm getting to the point, getting there. Okay, this isn't easy. Seeing wrinkles form. That's some fucked stuff, man. I was like, that's a trippy thing. But I'm working with it and I'm appreciating it and I'm loving it because it's showing me more and more what is this body for? You know, when it's not getting wrinkly, you know, before it's smooth and stuff, then it's much more of a temptation to use it as an idol. You know, when it's like, it's kind of like, wow, the skin is fucking hanging off the bones. Huh. Okay, well, all right. Well, what is it for anyways? You know, it's kind of like, thank goodness we set it up like that. It's not reality. There's no way. Aging is not a thing. We're totally perceiving this thing. And we're only perceiving it because that's what helps us wake up from dreaming. That's the only reason we're getting a perception of anyone aging. There's no aging. When we see through this world, we're going to see everyone as they are. They're timeless. They don't get dirt. They don't even get dirty. Okay, we don't even get dirty. We don't need to clean ourselves. We're never sweaty. We the sweat, even sweating, you know, like you go for a walk and you get all sweaty and then you feel like you need a shower. That's illusion. That's also part of it. Getting stinky, tired, hungry, and not having food when you just need it. That's the fear is we're not going to have food when we need it. So we got to go to work and get food so we can get our own food. The thing is, we've never been responsible for getting our own food. You know, when we're a baby, someone's feeding us apparently. That person isn't even responsible for getting our food. That hand is being moved by something else, by something greater. It's always the same. It never changes from that. You don't need to be responsible for getting your own food or your own shelter or anything like that. That's bull. That's something they got us to believe in, and it puts a burden on ourselves. We might get the sense that we're doing something to get to that thing, but that's only because we wanted to be dreaming. So we get the sense that we're doing it, but we're not doing anything. So when we come back to that again and again, that's how we wear away all these clouds that make it look like we're here. And some people aren't here, right? People die or leave or whatever. That's going to wear away a bit from that, so we can see the reality that's actually here. When we see that, we won't want to go back. Okay, we only think we want this because we don't trust what's on the other side of what's really here. The other side of the veils we put up. Yes, extending time. That's it, Glenn. All right, you guys. Yay. It's 5 o'clock and it's raining like a motherfucker. Thank you so much, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll give it a minute or so. I'm going to be gone. Again, I'm going to be gone for at least 2 weeks. Let me check my calendar. What day is today? 5th. I will be back on Monday, the 26th. And sometime during that week, I'm going to be down at the Trading Post. I don't know what day it's going to be. I'm open to Fridays. I'm open to other days too. It doesn't have to be Friday. I've been so triggered by sweat this week. Doing all this hiking and sweat in my eyes. I'm going to go online and look for an 80s headband, sweatband, or just laugh and awaken. Get the 80s sweatband. That sounds good. Not that you have a choice in it, but yeah, why not? Wear that 80s sweatband. I love you, Thebes. Thank you, Glenn. If anyone wants to see me on my trip, I'll be in Minnesota from the 8th to the 15th. And I will be in Las Vegas. I'm staying at the Golden Nugget. I'll be there from the 18th until I leave at like 1 in the morning on the 23rd. So if you want to come and hang out with me, let me know. I'll also be with my son, Braun, who's a fun little character. And my daughter, Akea, is going to be with me, and probably some brothers and sisters. And I might have a whole entourage, but you know, I like that. It's pretty fun. All right, everyone. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to stay insignificant. And that was the word that came to me like 2 weeks ago or something. Man, I just like being insignificant sometimes, right? I'm not doing any wisdom dialogue. Oh, this feels good. I'm not writing anything. I don't plan on writing anything, but I don't fucking know. You know, I get wild hair up my ass and I don't have a choice in it anyway. So I might be writing, but I don't know. I kind of like the sense. I get the sense that I'm insignificant, and I'm liking that right now. So hooray. Yay. I'll see you guys in like 3 weeks. I love you. Mahalo. Aloha. Ahui ho.